So I'm here to give you my review on these the mini splits I put in about a year and a half ago. I didn't feel comfortable doing a 1 year review because it was not real cold outside last winter in Texas, so I wanted to make sure I had enough information to go on before I said yes or no. So why don't you come on inside and I'll show you what's going on. Yeah, on these mini splits, I know there's a lot of skeptics that say they don't work below freezing. They're just not that efficient and not that good. Well, we're in Texas here, and I recently installed some of these mini split heat pumps. So before I did a full review on them, I definitely wanted to go through and get a good winter. We didn't have a real cold winter last year, so I didn't feel confident to tell you that they worked in low temperatures when I didn't know that. So let me show you what I got today, because it is flipping cold in Texas. So here's one unit. I'm going to see if I can get this in there. I was going to show you the temperature that it's blowing out, and I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard at this angle, but it's right around 110 degrees. The temperature, you can see like 107, 108. It's around 110. So let's take a look at the other one. And this is the one in our den area. You can see it's right around 108, 110. So it's not just the one, they're both doing the same thing, and it's you've seen it, it's to 7, 8 degrees outside. So now let's take a look at what temperature it is actually outside. Yes, that is 7 degrees outside. This one is actually our greenhouse, but yes, it is 7 degrees outside, and it is a comfortable 72 in the house. And here's outside, here's the one in the den. I was just showing you, it's not a big ice ball or anything like that, like some other people say. They just all freeze up. I mean, the sun, this one is in the sun. Sun just came up. It's around 8 o'clock here, and you can see, let's see if I can get a look back in the coils. You know, they're running fine, and the sun, with the sun being up now, it's probably about 10 out here. Like I say, it's really cold, and yeah, you can see where it's froze solid. It's our bin where we collect rainwater for the garden, and there was some left in there, and yeah, it's froze solid. It didn't take long. And here is that other unit. It was in the bedroom, and this one, you can see, it was mostly in the shade. It's just starting to get a little bit of sun, and it too, it's just running away. And this one's sitting on a slab, but you can see it's not all sitting in puddles of ice or anything like some people say. And yeah, I know I still have to mount the legs down to the concrete block. That I'd be honest, I was going to do it this summer and I totally forgot. But there you have it. I mean, they're running away. There's just no problem. It's single digits at night, and it is 70, 72 in the house. This one here in the shade, getting about right around 0, depending where I hit it. Yeah, it's about minus 8 if I get it all the way at -4. This might be easier. Yeah, right now the coil's at -1 to 2 degrees. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this one right now is running at about -2 to 3 degrees. And that's all Fahrenheit. I don't do Celsius. I don't know that stuff, so that's all Fahrenheit. So my thought on these mini splits, they work fine. You've seen single digits out here. It was, I believe it got down to about 7 last night, and it could have gotten colder when we were sleeping, but I checked it in the morning. It was 7 degrees, and everything's still blowing out nice warm air. So and they're not even running wide open. They're running harder than they would be, of course, if it was 30, 38 degrees outside. but they're not struggling in any way, shape, or form. And you see, in the summertime when we had the thermometer showed 117, 118, but it was really probably 115 or something like that. I mean, it wasn't in the sun. That's in the shade. I have the sensors in the shade, so you get the actual temperature. And yeah, there too. I mean, 115 degrees outside, and the house was at the 76 degrees. I think we had it set at in the summertime. So it's not like they were struggling, but pretty much the same thing. They were running harder than if it was 88 degrees, of course, but they work. My conclusion is they do work. Now, if you get down, up in your Minnesota areas where back when I lived in Wisconsin, we had actual temperature minus 31 degrees, not wind chill. It was a minus 31 degrees temperature. Would they work there? I'd be hesitant on that. Probably not. But for these areas where it's rare that you get these single digits, like I say, last year I didn't do a review on it because we just did not get that cold. I think the coldest day we had was like 10 degrees. It was one night, and it was early in December. So I mean, everything was still warm. The house was still warmed up from the hot summer and everything, where this is middle of January, so everything's cooled down. The house slab, the foundation and everything, all the ground around it, it's cooled down. So they're working like they would, and they've been working on this cold now. This is a 2.5 days of this. It dropped on a Saturday afternoon. It really just plummeted from 60 down to 22 degrees and got single digits that night. Then it was all day Sunday. It never got above 17 degrees, and that last night got down to 7, and this morning it's not supposed to get much more than 22 degrees. So I mean, it looks to me like they work fine. For this climate, like I say, you really would have to check into, as far as if you're more north probably than like upper Minnesota or something. And yeah, I know I still got to get that one mounted and everything. And yes, I know there's going to be people out there that don't like the fact I have the coils on the Freon lines. But okay. So in a wrap, I mean, They did amazing in the summertime. Like I say, temperature of 115 degrees. They all did great. I have the 2 Pioneers and the 1 ductless air. I did not show the ductless air one for the cold one because it's actually not running. Not because it can't run. It's because the room it is in is our kitchen, dining, and living room area, and that has a fireplace insert, and I'm running that in that room, so it's not running right now anyways. But even so, that one in the summertime did great, and I would imagine that one's a little bit more efficient, so that one would probably even fare a little bit better than the 2 Pioneers did. But never a problem with them. It's been over a year and a half now. So overall, I think it was a great investment. They don't take as much power as we have a 5-ton beast heat pump that is pretty old, and it's had some issues. I had to repair it. The defrost board went on it. The start run capacitor went out on it. And plus it wasn't cooling as good anymore that one summer. So I think it does have some stuff going on it. And I just didn't want to invest $10,000 on when I can put in the mini splits for like $2,000 to $3,000, probably less than $3,000 I have invested in it, and that included some tooling that I needed. So I think it was a good purchase. I love them. They're quiet, they're efficient. I can run them on my solar because they draw so little power when they are running. They run a lot compared to a regular heat pump because they are the variable speed, the inverter, where they only draw as much as they need. So you'll hear them ramp up, you'll hear them ramp down. And there's also people that say, oh, when they go into defrost, that they blow out cold air and everything. I don't know what model they had. The Pioneer and the ductless air do not blow out cold air. What you can hear them when they go into defrost, because the blower will stop, and you can actually hear, the what it's doing is in defrost mode. And then after it's done doing the defrost, it warms itself back up, then the blower kicks back on. That's what the ones I have do. So there's no problem, no drafts or anything like that. If anything, it's a lot nicer because pretty much the fan is running all the time. So it's just circulating the air in the house. And it runs very, very slow as long as you leave it in the auto mode. But I like them. I think they're doing a fine job. And I will definitely keep you posted if I have any problems with them. Until later, this is Casey. Bye-bye.